In Hamburg, we are planning to be more sustainable and to produce more food locally. And especially, this is my personal interest, is to use the waste from the food processing in sustainable ways as well. For example, around the Hamburg area, there is a great apple production, and it would be interesting to use the apple pomace that comes from juicing to develop innovative materials. But in general, Hamburg is very focused on the food sustainability by trying to grow as much as possible in Hamburg itself.
So now we are running several projects, and I would say one of the strategies for Fab City Hamburg should be to connect more actors to our local ecosystem and having more collaborative approaches in between these projects, and also having a more or stronger political impact on the city. So somehow I think the Fab City is a quite good actor on such topics, as it is an actor from the civil society, so there's no conflict in between politics or economics and so on, so it's a quite neutral place to meet. It has the capacity to bring different actors from different fields together, from civil society, from citizens to politics to economics actor.
Well, I think one of the big things is that we want to keep encouraging the Fab Lab ecosystem and the Fab Cities ecosystem to get involved with food. There are so many opportunities too, and there are resources available. So that's on one hand. I think on the other hand, it's also going to be working with the legacy of the FoodSHIFT2030 project and the Food Tech 3.0 Accelerator Lab, and working, for example, with the Food Tech 3.0 Gitbook, working on its dissemination, working to see where else we can implement it within the Fab Labs and Fab City ecosystem. Another way is that we would like to continue to open up our Discord space, which now we're being hosted through the distributed design platform. We have a space about food. So that's going to be hopefully a space for people to collaborate, share ideas about their local context that then can be adapted to a global context, or locally in a different place, like local attitude or way of looking at things. And I think continuing with the FoodSHIFT legacy, we're working on projects like FoodSHIFT Pathways, which is looking at food waste and methodologies for teachers to incorporate that in the classroom. But we're keep looking for these different places for interventions. And outside of like concrete food projects, we're also continuing to grow the MakeWorks Catalonia region by onboarding more food makers. So we have a few fermenters now, like Love Kombucha, and we want to continue to grow that area to bring visibility for the food makers that are local here in Barcelona and here in Catalonia and are already really pushing in this field.
So I talk about this specifically. We try to work for maybe 4 years, but we're gonna develop it. It's this link between the past and the future, and to have more and more relationship with the city, because the city have a strong strategy on a new food system or new alternative food system, digging the past. And so this is the first thing, to have new coalitions in Paris between professional, of course, citizen and our network. This is the first thing. I talk about the food track. It will be one of the umbrella of the way we want to work. And we're gonna maybe work maybe more closely with few organizations, like I talk about Sony Lab CSL, but there are many small initiatives in Paris. Today we are going to test fermentation, and we know that this is one of the tracks we want to prove today. Food processing. One of the important work we're gonna start now is this famous French method, So during the end of the 19th, the middle of the 19th, and during maybe 60 or 70 years, we have in Paris what we call the miracle of vegetable gardening. We were able during this period to feed approximately 95% of the population with vegetables and with fruits. And the idea is to test today techniques, practices, tools who have been developed during this period, and of course to mix it with innovation, with technical tools. This is maybe one of the most important things we're going to try to develop in the next years.